I have been just really digging into the timeline today. I started on one topic and then another topic. I mean, there's been a question of women teaching in the church and a bunch of people talking about that here lately. And so I've been talking about that with some friends. And then I got on the timeline thing, and then I started going through prophecy, and then I got stuck on Wikipedia. And I mean, there's all kinds. So I'm not exactly sure what this video is going to be about, but I know I'm going to dig into the timeline just a little bit. I know some of you have been wanting to share with me timeline things, and my brain has just been not been clicking along real great here lately. There's just been a lot going on. Oklahoma's trying to kill everybody. And so between weather watching and all the things, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I am Dawnita from prairiedusttrail.com. I am eating, so there's going to be noise and there's things going on, and I live on the farm, and this is real life on the prairie. So if you have issues with sound problems, you probably just want to move on. But if you want to join me in my home, I'm not having coffee or tea right now. I'm being a good girl and drinking my water. I've got my um my copper, my homemade copper, whatchamacallit in there, and doing my thing. So if you just want to come in, grab your favorite beverage and your snack or healthy salady stuff, whatever, then join me. And we will ramble along together. It's been interesting lately. Interesting. I thought it was the wrong day. So I'm recording this on Tuesday, and for some reason I thought it was Wednesday, and I tried to sign into something that isn't going to happen until then. And anyway, life, oh my goodness. Is anybody else having trouble just keeping up with life lately? Or is it just me? Let's see. I'm a screen share, and I'm just gonna kind of ramble along as I'm doing this. So let's see what we can come up with here. I was looking up several things, and I didn't know if I wanted to share with you guys. We were kind of looking up today some of the uh verses, because several people on TikTok and whatnot have been talking about, women in the church. And I think maybe Emmy from Manor Manor is going to get on with me at some point. Salad is not, my food is being problematic. Come on. Mm, this is actually really good. Sorry, guys. If I don't go ahead and eat, I'll forget. And then my blood sugar drops, and then it's a bad deal. And Emmy and I are probably going to do a video discussion on this at some point in time. And I know I've had at least one person in comments at some point talk about, women teaching. That particular verse, as a matter of fact, let's just pull it up, right? Let's just pull the book up. Let's see, where am I? Right now. Um, mm, I don't know if it'll come up this way. Oh, women teach. Titus, aged women, teach young women to be sober. It's that, uh, silent in church. It's it's in Corinthians. I knew it was. I knew it was. See, women are admonished to teach Teach your daughters. Um, teach aged women are supposed to be teachers, teach the younger women to be sober. And we are supposed to teach our children, okay? Teach your children in the way they should go, right? But this particular verse kind of throws people for a loop. Let your women keep silent in the churches, for it is not permitted for them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. I looked up various words in the concordance online and here on what this means. And I guess I should just do that, right? Let's just do it. Let's pull this over here and let's do I've already looked this up today, but I had 150,000 windows open. So, okay, to keep silent means to keep secret. This is, okay, keeping secret. And this makes me think of safety issues here. There's several places where people were supposed to keep silence, hold their peace. This is from this, the way this is to keep silent, to keep secret, and the other verses that this is in, it's a safety issue. Sometimes women need to downplay themselves a little bit for safety purposes. Okay. We have constitutional carry here in Oklahoma, but I usually, unless there's a big catastrophe, will not open carry. Okay. It's a safety issue because I am a woman. I am not as strong as a man. And if somebody wanted to, try to take it away from me, there's more of a possibility that they could. I pay attention to my surroundings and stuff. I don't think anybody would get that close with intentions like that. But it is just a safety issue. A lot of the men out here have just cautioned me that they don't suggest that I open carry. So I usually don't unless I'm just out here on the farm doing things. And it makes sense for me to have one handy in case of snakes and skunks and things like that. Okay. Um, so I could see where keeping silent sometimes is a safety issue and would be a good idea. Okay. Men typically go to war and women got to hold down the fort, right? So then we've got the law, which is interesting here. This particular one, it is custom. It's not just the law of the Old Testament, like the Mosaic law or whatever, but it's also customs. Okay. So you want to be respectful of the customs of the area as well. And this is Corinth that he's writing to the church at Corinthian, the Corinthian church at Corinth. And he's saying for safety reasons, because of where you are and what is going on, women should be silent and keep their peace. Partly because of the customs. Okay. That's what I'm seeing here. Now, as far as the suggestion of, like women, and I've got some women that online friends that I really respect who have become ordained ministers. I do not agree with that. Number one, and I love them to pieces, right? And I'm not going to get dogmatic about this, and I'm not going to start an argument with them about it because number one, they're becoming ordained in a 501c3 man-made religious organization. It's not the Church of God, okay? The Church of God's ordination is a different thing. When God ordained in the Bible, let's just look that up. Bible ordain. Let's see, what does the Bible say about being ordained, appointed? Let's see, 43 Bible verses, ordained. Let's just look up ordained. Okay. You know, burnt offering was ordained. That wasn't even a person. Jeroboam was ordained. Okay, so if we get into the New Testament when we talk about ordination, because that's where we're kind of talking about this, let's look up. Yeah. Let's see, Bible. Lexicon. All right. To select, appointed, to place or stay. What was the ordained? You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. And bear fruit, that your fruit would remain. That's what this is saying. And ordained you that you should bring forth fruit. So that's odd. So that's not even bringing up the word ordain here as far as the Greek is concerned. We're talking, yeah, appointing, lay aside, select, selecting. And he selects all of us, right? Let's see. This one be ordained witness. Let's see. Ordained to eternal life, ordained them elders. Let's try this one. Okay. Again, it's appointing elders, just appointing. Ordained, let's see. Well, let's just do, what was it? 16:4. 16. Or see what that one says. As they went through the cities and delivered them decrees to keep that were ordained of apostles. The priest and captain and temple came upon them. Am I in the right thing? 16:4. 16:4. I'm not. I'm not. Oh, that's 4:1. Never mind. You guys got to keep me out of control here. It's better whenever it's live because then you guys can keep me in order here. Okay. Passing the cities, we're delivering decrees which had been decided, judged, decided. Again, we don't have the word ordain. Ordained alive, ordained of God. Here, let's try Romans 13:1. Subjecting about authority and established. Again, I don't see the word ordain from the Greek here. So we're talking about, yeah. So to me, a woman being ordained, anybody being ordained as a minister, that's an organizational thing. In the state of Oklahoma, I can become ordained as a minister, quote unquote, to do weddings and funerals. All I have to do is send like $20 in to the state or something and say I want to be able to, do weddings and funerals and whatever. What does it mean? You know, um, So if somebody's going to the Methodist church or the Baptist church or the hoo-ha church of whatever, it's 501c3, it's hooked up to the government. And, you know, if that makes you feel good to get that ordination, but to me, it just, why would we fight about that? Because it's not, you can see right here, it has nothing to do with the Bible. It has to do with taxes and man-made organizations. So that's where I'm at on that one. And like I said, Emmy from Maynard Manor and I may go into more detail on that because it's something that pops up every once in a while. And I'm like, here's the big thing. We're supposed to be sacred and holy, set apart. Nobody needs to be ordained. We just need to do what God wants us to do. Whenever God calls you to do something, God, reveals something to you, you do your thing, you share your thing. If you guys didn't make it to the what was it called? Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, the brain. Please help me turn it on. Okay, the Treasuring Your God-Given Purpose Summit. This is an amazing thing. And I'll see if I can find a link to leave in the comments. I think you can still join the summit. I think most of it was recorded, but it was like 5-day summit that Myrna Buckles from Legacy in Action put together. An amazing thing. And it was treasuring and finding out what your God-given purpose is and, how to do your things. So let's see. It talked about motivation, 10 tips to overcome fear. Let's see. I talked about biblical homesteading, community and traditions and type things. Entrepreneur, empowering entrepreneur authenticity, and prayer journals. There's several different things in learning your God-given purpose. Some people really struggle with, what is my purpose and what is my calling type of thing, and the difference between your purpose and your calling. And so anyway, it was a really good summit. And if you guys are interested, hopefully I can put the link in the description and you can still get to that. But this is the point right here. We're all supposed to be set apart and following him. And, and if we're doing church the way church is supposed to be done, then it is in homes or a home-based scenario, in a home, in somebody's barn, in the back of somebody's business or something like that, where people get together and fellowship and have communion together or do worship together and learn together and have discussions and do those things. It can be out in the middle of the pasture, guys. So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts there. If you've got some other thoughts, put them down in the comments. If you've got some questions for Amy and I whenever we go into this, then leave us some questions so that we can hopefully address those whenever we do it. Maybe we'll do a Q&A type thing whenever we do it. Would you guys like that? We might do that. Anyway, okay, so give me another bite because my salad gets to sit in here while I'm just talking. And I am still working on this. And if you asked for a copy of this and you've worked on it, I made a separate copy that I shared with a few of you. And if you have updated yours, then please, um, you'll have to, if you want me to be able to see it, you'll have to do a share link. You'll have to do this share link so that I can get to it, or you can send me screenshots or whatever, so that we can see each other's stuff. And I might put a share link for you guys to just kind of look at it. And I think I might put that in the description if I can remember to. So that you guys can look at it. I don't have anybody else, I don't think, editing this one. I think it's basically just me because I didn't want to end up with a whole bunch of people on here and then changing things around and losing track of where I was at. So, you can make a copy of it and do your own thing. And then if you want to invite me to be able to look at yours, then we can do that. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out basically what are the ages of, the world, because people have kind of talked about that we've got so many ages of the world and whatnot. I'm coming up with more than what most people seem to. And so I'm just going to kind of go through this from Adam to the flood. I'm considering that an age. And over here on my summary, I'm like calling it Atlantis just for fun, okay? And the antediluvian time period, right? And I haven't got Bible verses for all of these yet. But then the next age is basically after the flood, we had the Sumerian Empire. So, and after that, we have the Egyptian Empire. And I'm just kind of sticking these in where I kind of think. I think it's interesting. And if you've heard me before, I used to think that the word Hebrew meant crossing over. I don't know where I heard that, but when I actually looked it up in the lexicon, oh, excuse me, now I'm burping. That's great. Um, then it actually means like sons of Eber. This one right here. And I'm like, okay, descendants of Eber, Hebrew. So I don't know. That's what the lexicon said. But actually, Hebrew, I realized, was being used before the Exodus. So it can't necessarily mean crossing over unless they were talking about like Abraham crossing over to go into Egypt to stay there in Egypt for a while or something. But I don't know why that would have been. But maybe. I don't know. If you've ever heard of that and you know where it's coming from, then leave me a comment and help me remember. Anyway, we've got the Sumerian Empire, which would have been like Gilgamesh and, Nimrod, Gilgamesh, those early stuff. And then we have the Egyptian Empire, which they want to stretch that out for a really long period of time and have the old kingdom, this kingdom, that kingdom, that kingdom. And yeah, I'm not there. If you guys haven't seen the patterns of evidence pattern, oops, evidence, yeah, on the Exodus. This is the pop-ups. Oh my goodness. Anyway, they've got an interesting website. It's just patternsofevidence.com. I don't know if I remember to put that in the description or not, but this is really good. The thing about the Exodus and Egypt, or the time periods of Egypt and stuff. Very interesting the way he actually showed in the original video that he did that the Egyptologists have stretched out the timeline of Egypt, and according to the Bible, it's a much shorter time period. So if you haven't seen that, you should definitely see that. I will I will actually put that link in the timeline. Let's see. And I'll put it right there. Okay, so I'll put that in there. And so we have the Egyptian Empire, and then after the Exodus and their time in the wilderness, we've got the Phoenician Empire. And of course, empires kind of overlap and because they take over each other and whatnot. Now, I believe these were worldwide empires. So if you haven't been here very long, I do not believe these empires just took up little bitty spaces. So the Egyptian Empire, I do not believe was just in what we see as Egypt today. It was all over the world. And we do see evidence of that all over the world. The Sumerian Empire, old, the Tower of Babel and all of that kind of stuff, the step pyramids and things, we see that all over the world, right? Okay, the Canaanite and Phoenician Empire, we definitely see evidence of the Phoenicians and the Canaanites going all over the world. The stones in or the skulls in Peru, the elongated skulls, those are all over the place. When Joshua and they sent the Canaans and the Phoenicians out of the area, and they were battling with them until David became king, right? So, as they were, they dispersed over the world. So I'm considering that an empire. And then we have, I'm not really considering this an empire because Israel itself, I'm not considering it an empire because I don't think it was worldwide. It probably took up more space than what we thought. But we have King Saul, King David. King David was at war the whole time that he was king, basically. Solomon built the temple, and then the kingdom was divided. Okay. I mean, it happened that quick. It was like we've got we didn't even make it through 3 generations, of people before it started falling apart. So you get down here, and then we have the Babylonian Empire because Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away. So the Israel, whenever the kingdom was divided into Israel and Judah, and Judah is where we get the word Jews today, Judea. Okay, but it was Israel, and then it split up into 2, and 10 of the tribes, basically 10, yeah, basically, and then Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, I think, stayed with Judah. So Levi wasn't considered one of the tribes; they're the priests. So I think it was just Judah and Benjamin that stayed in the land with the with the with the priests. Okay, I keep tweaking this. So at this point here, around this time, after Elijah and before Jeremiah, Assyria took Samaria and carried away Israel. So there was no more kingdom of Israel. So you only had the kingdom of Judah, and they were not doing a good thing. So, but God kept them there, because it needed to be. So then, and in this time period somewhere, I had Daniel. Well, Daniel's in here. Yeah, there's Daniel. Daniel is taken away whenever Nebuchadnezzar takes Jerusalem. Daniel is one of the children that is taken away. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and whatever their actual Hebrew names were. So anyway, we have the Chaldean Babylonian Empire. The Chaldeans were the ones that were the wise men that came and gave gifts whenever Yeshua was born. So Anyway, I'm counting this number 5. Are you paying attention? Are you keeping up better than I am? And then you have Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Daniel is in here and Nebuchadnezzar has a dream and Daniel with God's help, interprets it. And you have this, okay? And in Daniel 7, you also have these 4 beasts, okay? And so you have the Babylonian Empire, the Medes and Persians, Greece, Rome, and this is saying Anglo-American. No, not, no, I'm not there on that one. But the rest of them is, yeah. So we have Cyrus the Great that comes with the Medes and the Persians is the next one. And then we have Alexander the Great. And we have, Darius and Artaxerxes and Ahasuerus in the Bible. These are kings that are in the Bible. And then we have the Greek Empire and Alexander the Great, and we have the Maccabean Revolution. So the Maccabees and Hanukkah is instituted in here, okay? And I'm considering this number 7, right? And then we have the Roman Empire, which is also in Daniel's dream. Okay, so Rome is the legs, and then the feet are a mix of iron and clay, right? And we have gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay. So the Roman Empire, I have as number 8. And then we have the Byzantine Empire, which I'm considering number 9. And which some people think is the first millennium. Okay, is the millennium. So, and as a matter of fact, Wikipedia calls it the first millennium. It actually does, guys. Wikipedia calls this the first millennium, starting from Jesus through basically most of the Byzantine Empire, or the second millennium. The second millennium Wikipedia considers from about 1000. So the first millennium being from, 1 AD to 1000 AD, and the second millennium being 1001 AD to 2000 AD is what they're considering. And they're considering, according to Wikipedia, that we are in the third millennium, as a matter of fact. Yeah, not the Tartary one. No. Here we go. I will show you. Oh, I already had it up. Oh, well. See, it has first millennium, year 1 to 1000. And the second millennium here, from 1001 to 2000. And then the third millennium. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, I thought it was interesting. The first millennium, it is basically calling it the year of our Lord, what before Christ, AD is after, in the year of our Lord. Yeah. And the world population rose slowly. Did you guys see the lunch break episode that he recently did on the catacombs, and how many bodies are underneath each one of those churches? And we're told that the world population has risen. Well, at some point in time, I may go through and see if we can count up. I know we can't do all of them, but count up all of what that during that whatever time period would have been, what the population would have been. I mean, there are catacombs in the United States. There are catacombs in the United States. Did you know that? There are literally catacombs in New York. So I was told growing up that the reason for the catacombs was that the Christians were hiding from the Romans and they buried their people in the catacombs because they were in those, they dug those and lived down there underneath the cities. That's a bunch of baloney, right? So anyway, um, so they're considering the first millennium to basically be in the Byzantine Empire. And that would have gone until about here. Okay, so Islam started supposedly about 610 at the same time that this particular emperor became emperor. And I've gone through, okay, and I've counted these. And it seems like there was something about, I remember my father-in-law teaching about these, and I haven't had time today to go completely into it. So I didn't count him, but I counted the rest of them 10. And it's interesting that, you know, Revelation is talking about the dragon, 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon the heads. And it gives more information. And I know if we go back and we look at the history of these emperors, there will be a correlation. I just know there is, but I can't give you the whole kit and caboodle of it right now. But anyway, right in here, you've got Islam in the process happening right there in the middle. So as we are trying to figure out if we are here, right, in the little season, the Great Deception, that's what I'm calling it, the Great Deception, from Revelation 6 and Revelation 20, right? Little season. Then, you know, we've been wondering, when does this start and where are we actually in this timeline? So I actually did find the Tartar Confederation. Ah, let's see. And let's see, in the 12th century, it did give a time period from the 8th century to the 12th to the 1200s to the end of the 12th century is what it's given for Tartaria, the Tartar Confederation. Okay. And then we have Tartary here, which it actually has a map of Tartary. So Wikipedia is getting updated. And this one was made in 1806. So they're saying Tartary was after the Confederation of Tartar, which is interesting. And then I found this interesting. This is in one of those websites. In the aftermath of World War I, the victorious Allied powers occupied and partitioned the Ottoman Empire, which lost its southern territories to the United Kingdom and France. The successful Turkish War of Independence, led by who's-he what's-he dude, against the occupying allies, led to the emergence of the Republic of Turkey in the Anatolian heartland and the abolition of the Ottoman monarchy in 1922, formally ending the Ottoman Empire. So I do believe the Ottoman Empire, which took over the Byzantine Empire, has something to do with things. Now, I personally don't think that it's been a whole 2,000 years since Yeshua was here. Okay. Personally, I don't. So from creation to his coming is about 4,000 years, give or take, because some of this is really hard to math. Okay. And I'm a mathy person, but just the Bible isn't completely clear, and I'm not taking Wikipedia's word for numbers. because I don't believe Wikipedia math's as good as I do. So, you know, leave it to that. We need some more. Mm. So some people are putting the Millennial Kingdom in here. Some people are putting it from like 70 AD from the siege of Jerusalem to, you know, here about would be about where it would be. Some people are doing the Millennial Kingdom from about here to the about the 1500s because of the Geneva Bible, the notes that have been found in the Geneva Bible that say that King, oh, one of the popes, right? See, I need to get that in here. I'm so not done with this. Um, let's see. Pope, is it that one? Pope Alexander the Fifth. I don't think he's the right one. I think it's the next one. Hmm, yeah, children. Interesting. A disputed one. Ooh, or several disputed ones. Previous education. Um, oh, his successor? No, I don't think that's the right one. Is it? Open a new tab. Oh, Pius. Let's see. Julius the. I don't think that's it either. Hmm. He was only Pope for a year. Okay. Let's say this guy, the warrior pope, the battle pope. Interesting. Let's see, who was his successor? Leo. And, I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, see, that's about the time of Martin Luther's Protestant Re Reformation. So, see, I feel like I need to have this one in here, definitely. Because this would have been close to about the time, maybe. I can't remember which pope it was. You guys know. I know you do because I think you shared it with me. I don't think it was this one. It was his Innocent. Was it that one? Yeah, I don't remember. Isn't that terrible? Okay. Protestant Reformation. Let's see. Let's look up Geneva. The Geneva Bible, 1557, 1560. So we're talking the Reformation, 1517. So around the 1500s. And that needs to be in there. Something above. So, oh, My spelling is terrible, guys. This is why I do this. I have to ask my oldest daughter how to spell things. And then um, have this circle of to which need the Bible right about that time. So Protestant Reformation. So that would be around 1500-ish, right? So anyway, so what's missing, what's going on, and we'll gradually get a lot more stuff filled in here. But it's kind of interesting. The Ottoman Empire is considered to last about 1,000 years. The Byzantine Empire is considered to last about 1,000 years, right? And yeah, it's just a hard one to take. And then if we do this, and if we just add 1,000 years to that, goes 5,300-ish. Because this is since creation, years from creation. And then if we go, let's see. Oh, no, I guess. All right. And then if we go another 1,000 years here, it's going to be about 6,300. Now, if I look at my phone, and I'm sure you guys wouldn't, it says today is the 29th of Nissan 5784. I don't know if you guys can see that. Ah, come on. 57 and 84. Okay, so according to what history is doing to us right now, we're past, we're like around 6,400. So if we say, well, would that be right? 60, yeah, around 6,400. 6,400 minus, what did I say that was? It's bad, guys, it's bad. 5784 minus 5784. So that's about 600 years discrepancy between the Jewish calendar from creation and what we've kind of got here. All right. 4,000 plus 2,000 from Yeshua's coming is about 4,000 here. Okay. And if we add 2,000, it's about 6,000 years, but the Jewish calendar is saying that's 600 years too many. So where is the extra 6,000 years added on to? And what happened and what didn't happen? You know what I'm saying? So let's see. We'll do some more mathing here. 2024 minus 1,500. That's 524 years. So, I mean, that would be some of it. So, I mean, what if there's been some fudging somewhere in some of this? It's hard for me to believe if we go from 70 AD to, it's hard for me to believe that Islam was, if if the millennial reign was in this time period, flies are trying to eat me, and it's only May. Okay, if this was the millennial reign, it's hard for me to believe that Islam started during the millennial reign. I mean, he actually had a angel visit him, and he went nuts after the fact. He he plagiarized the Bible basically, and then went off his rocker demon possessed after that. Why would that happen during the millennial reign? I kind of have issues with that. And then some people think it's from about 500. Whoops. To about 1500, which would be about this ish. That would have been the millennial reign. About that. Okay. About that. That would have been covering about here ish too. Okay. And if that's the case, then you still have the Islam problem here. Okay. That I have issues with. So, I mean, I understand as we're reading the scriptures, it says, he was going to come quickly, right? And, but does it really mean that he's actually going to reign quickly? Let me see if I can. Revelation. I will come unto you quickly. Repent, or else I come unto you quickly. Behold, I come quickly. There's all these places that it says, I come quickly, right? So if the millennial reign happened right after the 70 AD, then are they sticking Islam in the wrong place? Does it actually belong over here? Okay. To me, it would make more sense in the Ottoman Empire. So if we actually considered Islam to be in this area, and if we take out 600 years and we say, because it's interesting that we got, okay, the Ottoman Empire officially ended in 1922. We've got the 1890, we've got all the things that happened in the 1800s. We have the Industrial Revolution, we have Cabbage Patch Babies, we have all of the fires, supposedly. We have all of the stuff happening in the 1800s. And then the early 1900s, some of that is overflowing into the early 1900s. And then we have World War I. And I know a lot of us can take our genealogy. I can take my genealogy into the 1700s. Okay. So if we're taking our genealogy into the 1700s, then where does that kind of put us? You see what I'm saying? So if we say 1700s, let's just say, and because I know some people are really stuck on the whole Geneva Bible and it, that being when Satan was released. And I don't know, maybe that's the case, but I'm having a hard time believing that we've got a whole, that it's been, you know, 500 years since. It's, you know, yeah, these brain that it's been 500 years. We're 500 years into the little season. You know what I'm saying? I have a hard time believing that the little season has already lasted 500 years. I have a hard time with that. And I'm wondering if there's some discrepancy here between the 1500 and 1700s. Well, and late 1700s at that. You know what I'm saying? Is there a discrepancy here between 1500s and the 1700s? Late 1700s. So, you know, like 1776. Some people are thinking the Satan was released in 1776. What do you think of that? I mean, I don't know. I I don't know. I'm having a hard time with some of this. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that happens in that time period, and then there's a lot that happens in the 1890s and early 1900s. Because the early 1900s, I mean, we've got the land runs, a lot of the states out here out west, you know, people coming out west and the orphan trains and all of that kind of stuff as far as here in the United States. And I know there were things happening in other parts of the world as well, you know. So anyway, this is just kind of where my brain is really having some issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that 5780. And I'm gonna put some question marks because this is supposedly the date that we are at right now, right? That is supposedly the date we are at right now. I keep tweaking. So if this is the date that we're at right now, and we've got about 600 years, give or take, 600 years, give or take, that we're finding a discrepancy. And then we've got a discrepancy with he came, the siege of Jerusalem, the millennial reign. Maybe this time period right in here is not, maybe it's less. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know. Because I know there's some things that happen in here that the whole Constantinople and Constantine, you know, and them declaring the Sunday law. I mean, because then you have that. Oops. Yeah, that's when Sunday was made, the Sabbath. So you have that in here. So there can be something said for that. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I can sit here and ramble and anyway, I'm still working, like I said, on the summary here. But this is basically the empires that I'm seeing. And insert columns to the left. And if we just 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I know everybody wants to make a Sabbath in there and they want to make it a 7. But 10 is a number that God uses in the Bible a lot too. So this is kind of where I'm at. Is I think there have been 10 ages of the world. Perhaps. I'm not going to get all dogmatic on this, guys. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just, what I'm putting together here is 10 ages of the world. And and yeah, and this is about within about a 6,000 year time period. Whether you go with this or that, it's around a 6,000 year time period. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, that makes and the thing that I do notice, okay, is this age is longer, and I need to add that in. Okay. So we have, okay, the first age lasting about 1,600 years. The second age only only lasting, let's see, from 1,600 to about 26, 1,000 years. So we've got 1,600 years, and then we've got 1,000 years, and then from six, 74, let's see, yeah, and then we have 100 years ish here, maybe from, I don't know, from the Egyptian Empire. It depends on where I count that, you know, of how long the Egyptian Empire was in. If we want to go from, yeah, I don't know. And maybe the Egyptian Empire and the Canaanite and Phoenician Empire are the same, but I don't know. And then you have the Canaanite Empire going from 27 to maybe 36. So you've got almost 1,000 years there. And then they get short. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. I'm still kind of putting the stuff together. Still kind of putting it together, obviously. So yeah, I'll probably add in here a little, how many years I think maybe that empire lasted, and see if we can come up with some kind of a, organized thought process here. Because in my thought process, each one should be less. And this should be the longest lasting empire, and this should be the least long empire, and then the short season should be short. But I wonder if we're missing something in here somewhere, that between the millennial reign and the short season, that there might actually be something either there or here. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I need to quit before I give myself brain problems, because yeah, I'm gonna give myself brain problems. So anyway, I'm curious to see what you guys think, and hopefully, yeah, you guys can share with me your timeline stuff and everything, and start putting a few other things together. I've got just this analytic brain that wants to figure it all out for myself first before I start digging deeper into what somebody else is doing. So I don't mind seeing somebody else's research, but I don't know that it's going to click until I have an idea of where I'm at with it. And yeah, here lately, the brain isn't braining. So anyway, I've been having trouble with the platform here lately. So if you can subscribe to the magazine, that's awesome. If you can't, I am sorry. Try, a couple of days later and hopefully it'll be working. There have been a lot of internet gremlin activity lately. I'll just say that. And it's worldwide, across the plane. And yeah, so pray against internet gremlins because it's just been, I'm tired. I'm trying to get my community started because I want to have something that's not on a platform that can be censored. So at this point in time, I haven't had anything recently that has been taken down or gotten any strikes or anything here lately. They seem to have kind of opened up a little bit on what we can say and stuff. And I know I've slipped on a few things, but they're also not monetizing me on some things here. So if you see ads on some, especially the shorter videos, if you see ads on those, be irritated because I'm not getting any money off of those. And that's kind of annoying. But hopefully, I'm not getting any money yet anyway, but hopefully soon something will happen. But anyway, okay. I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna finish my salad. And remember, you can make it through the dust storms of life with God's divine help.